We'll go ahead and get started. First question, Malika Andrews.
Hey there. I'm wondering if the nature in which you lost the last game gives you all any more permission maybe to play a little bit more freely, to loosen up a little bit, because it's kind of only up from here.
That's a really good point. I guess so. At some level, you don't expect to go 4 for 45 from 3 in back-to-back games and really just kind of bottom out and not have a reaction that is sort of like, okay, let's go from here. Let's be positive. Let's hope that this is rock bottom and climb from this space that we're in, or the space that we're at. So yeah, it does hopefully give us a little bit more of, maybe take some of the pressure off to know that, like, hey, it can't be as bad as it was last night. And that's what I believe. And I'm obviously a positive person, but I truly believe it. Like, that was pretty bad last night and we can do better.
Mark Berman. Oh, sorry. Mark Berman.
Hey, Stephen. John Wall's not on the injury report. Is he in the starting lineup tonight? Can you share your starting lineup tonight?
Yeah, John's in the starting lineup. We're starting the same group we started last night, except Eric is out and Victor's in.
Is Eric not playing tonight?
Eric is not playing tonight.
Kaylee Griffin.
Hey, Coach. March is Women's History Month, and both last night and tonight, you faced teams with female assistant coaches. I spoke with Lindsay Gottlieb last week, and she shared a little bit about how your relationship was going back to Brown and how you've helped her since she got to the NBA. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit on your relationship with Lindsay, and especially as a father of 2 girls, how much representation for women in sports in the NBA means.
It's huge. Diversity in any aspect is important for any industry, any situation in our country, to me. Lindsay and I went to college together. She was a freshman when I was a senior at Brown. She played on the basketball team. And we didn't really have much of a friendship then, but we followed each other's careers afterwards. When she was at Cal, I followed her, and then when she went to the Cavaliers, I forget how we connected, but we reconnected, and I just reached out to her and was like, hey, this NBA is difficult. I used to live in Cleveland, worked for the Cavaliers. If there's any way that I could help, hit me up. Like, I've seen everything, I've done everything. Like, if there's anything that you need, please reach out to me. And, as that was a few years ago, obviously, but as wins and losses come and go, and experiences kind of come and go, we stayed in contact. And she's a really good coach, really good person, family woman, and important to their staff and important to the NBA. I also worked last 2 seasons with Jenny Boucek, who is an assistant coach with the Dallas Mavericks. And, just diversity in thought. She was a WNBA head coach. She had been an assistant in the NBA with the Sacramento Kings. And just, it's so important for our guys to see strong women, knowledgeable women who can help them, and sometimes that can connect on a level that's different, better than a man can. So it's awesome. It's awesome, and it's needed. And diversity, like I said, diversity in every single way is good for everybody involved.
Jonathan Fagan.
Going back to John playing for the second game in the back-to-back, What went into the decision that he could be cleared to do that? And is that any indication about the possibility of him playing both games sometimes or all the time of the 10 that you've got in the second half?
Yeah, so we talked about it a few days ago, and he said his body's feeling good and he wanted to give it a try. We talked to the performance team, and obviously the minutes last night were a little bit lower than usual. So, but we had planned it prior to that he was gonna, if he felt good after game one, then play game two. So that's encouraging. It's encouraging for our group. It's encouraging for him. It's encouraging, obviously, for me to have him out there both games, and it gives us a better shot to win. And as far as moving forward, we're gonna really take a look at that over the break. But for him to play these two games does kind of push us in the right direction as far as him playing both games of the back-to-backs. But you know, the fact that there are 10 of them in the second half of the season, it's probably not all, but some.
Thank you.
Adam Spaulding.
The fact that you only have one game between now and the 11th, did that make it a little easier to have him play in both these games?
For sure. I mean, the fact that we have 2 games left before the break lends itself to, you know, rest, recovery, and all of those things. So that was definitely a consideration when it came to him playing both games.
And I don't know if there is an answer for this, but you talked last night about how you thought the team was playing tight. Is there anything that you can do, or any method that can kind of take some of the pressure off?
That's a good question. I don't know. the pressure kind of is what it is, and it's built in. My job is to do what I can to put us in the right positions, to give them confidence, to give them the freedom to play to their strengths. If their strength is to shoot the ball, I would trust them to shoot it and not to hesitate. And that's the message that I've been giving the guys. I mean, last night obviously was a rough game, but we're the same team that made 11 threes in the first quarter of the OKC game and 28 that game. So the reference point that we have, the confidence that I tried to give the guys, the work that they put in, all of those things hopefully lead to better shooting, but trying not to kind of harp on the make or miss portion of it, and the quality of the shots, and the not hesitating to shoot the shot has been the message for me, and hopefully that will help with the tightness when it comes to shooting and making shots.
Brian Bearfield.
Coach, on last night, you gave up over 70-plus points in the paint, and now you got the league leader in field goal percentage and Jarrett Allen coming in. How do you plan on stopping him from being so effective tonight?
Yeah, well, he did a really good job last time we played them. We were playing smaller. We're playing bigger tonight, so that should help. And then since we played them just 3-4 days ago, the familiarity for us is there, and understanding what kind of makes this team go, as far as those guys getting in transition, the guards and their penetration and their one-on-one game, and then Jarrett Allen and his paint game. So the players are already talking about it before we even watched the film, did the walkthrough, how we have to make sure that we're protecting the paint. And some of it last night was obviously our turnovers, right? Like, we turned the ball over and they ran out and got points in the paint, as well as our missed threes led to their runouts and points in the paint. So it wasn't just like half court drives or offensive rebounds, which was a part of it as well. But our ability to take care of the basketball is going to be super, super important to keep them out of the paint.
We'll take 2 more. Mark Berman.
Stephen, I know it's probably obvious, but I'm double checking. Victor starts and plays tonight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And last question, Jonathan Fagan.
Hey, just going back, what went into the decision to change the starting lineup to have Justin starting, and how did you feel? I know it's a hard game to judge from, but how did you feel about how he did?
I thought he did a good job, especially at the beginning of the game. The first quarter was good on both ends of the floor. We got quality shots that we make, but overall, like especially his communication in pick and rolls, like he's early to talk in pick and rolls. He is kind of in the right place at the right time when the pick and roll is coming. And that's an important part, like the communication, especially from the 5-man when it comes to pick and roll defense, breeds organization behind it. And the beginning of the game, he did a really good job of that. The reason I changed the starting lineup, I thought we needed something different. I thought we needed, a little bit more size after the Cleveland game and Toronto game. I thought that we needed a little bit more shooting on the floor with House at the 3. So that's the reason I did it.
Thank you, Coach. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily because they start centers and Toronto doesn't. So if, it was more about you guys than the matchup.
Yeah, it's much more about us than our opponents. It was about us and having our guys being able to kind of play to their strengths and having rollers and size and shooting on the floor, although we didn't make it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Alrighty.